say I had 100 guests,
Yes.
and I had a 2-tiered cake, and it wasn't going to feed 100 people. Am I better off to have a 2-tier cake and a kitchen cake, or a 3-tier cake?
That's one of the hardest questions ever.
Sorry.
Simply because of the design on the cake.
Okay.
Because if you have a lot of intricate design on a 2-layer cake,
Right.
that might cost you a bit. And then you can put the plain cake out the back, which we don't put the fondant on because people peel it off.
Right.
So we just have the ganache cake out the back.
Right.
But the way they serve the cake now, it doesn't necessarily go to a piece of cake does not necessarily go to every guest. It can just be served on a platter to each table.
I was just going to ask, I know that when I come into your shop, there's like all sorts of cakes, and I see them all at different weddings, and there's even one behind you now. There's, you've got all different designs and patterns and decorations and colours. How do the couple choose that with you, or do they come in with magazines, or?
They hopefully come in with as much information as they possibly can. If they were having, say, these birds on their invitations and some stripes or something, that's why that would go in with their wedding.
Okay.
So we would sit down and listen to all those answered questions, hopefully from that checklist.
Right.
They would have brought some photos, hopefully, of things that they like and possibly things they don't like. Because sometimes it's easier to see what they don't like, so you can actually discount a lot of sort of cake designs that way.
Yeah.
And it is a positive thing where we think, oh, because if people go through, they find it sometimes hard to say to you, I hate that.
Yeah.
But I actually don't mind it, because I'd rather them tell me than me design something and then they don't like that.
Yeah.
So I find, it's not a negative thing, it's just putting it out there to make the designing actually a lot easier.
Okay.
So hopefully there will be a sample of the fabric colour for the bridesmaids, because
Okay, so colour's a big thing?
Colour is a huge thing. So if they come in with that, I can sort of see that, even if we're not using it on the cake, but you just make sure that the cake is working with it all.
Right, okay.
And pictures of their flowers.
Right,
That's
okay.
great. If they've got an invitation sample, that's fantastic. And then if they've got photos of their decorations or a theme in their mind,
Okay, you can run with
we
that.
can run with it.
Okay,
Yep.
awesome. Okay.
And if all else fails and everything in their wedding is really, really hard, sometimes a beautiful white cake is perfect.
It's going to go with everything? Or
It's
anything?
going to fit straight in, look like a wedding cake,
Yeah.
and do its job.
Okay. And I know that some of your cakes have like fancy flowers and little decoration stuff, so I guess, does all that must affect price?
Absolutely.
Right.
If we have a cake that has masses of flowers on it, it will be priced accordingly.
So those flowers, they're made individually?
Yes,
Okay.
and so we have to factor all that in.
Right.
Colouring too, for us to need the colours of the cake to go on the icing for the cake,
Yeah.
that takes forever.
Okay.
So and matching colours, we can match colours quite closely
Yeah.
and things, but this is where a designer cake, that's what you're paying for.
To get those right colours.
That's
themed
exactly
and
right.
everything. Okay.
Yes.
All right. And I don't see very many, maybe a couple of European weddings in Sydney that I do, like the one with the big, like the towers and the columns
the
and things
pillars.
like that. The pillars,
Yeah.
yeah. So I don't see many of those anymore.
And you won't.
Okay.
They're very much a dated
Yeah.
cake. They're not in at the
Okay.
moment. So every now and then, and it does surprise us that sometimes we will make these cakes and we think, oh, you take it to the venue and then it goes, wow, that really does fit in.
Right, okay. So that fits in with that particular
That
reception
fits in.
venue.
That's exactly
might be
right.
okay.
Yep. So it may look old-fashioned at the time, but when you consider what they're having there and you put it together with the different things in their room, it can look fantastic.
Right, so I imagine you want high ceilings and intricate decorations and...
That's the one. We did a really big pink American cake, and when you look at it, and because you're working so closely with cakes and right up and close, you look at it and you think, oh my gosh, that's just very over the top. And we took this one particular cake into its venue and it looked fantastic, and particularly from a distance, because most of your guests have seen the cake from a distance,
sitting back.
and this cake just looked fantastic.
Wow.
So I had to eat my words.
So if someone wants that, they can have it?
Yes.
Okay.
Within reason.
Okay.
There are some things we don't do.
Right, okay. But you'll be able to tell people... or guide them.
Absolutely, and I will guide them with that, because I will only do things that I am comfortable with too, because at the end of the day I want this to work.
Yeah, sure.
That's...
And I'm sure name, isn't it?
Well, that's right, yeah. So we like to do that sort of thing. But with the big pink cake, this bride was so lovely, and she just wanted her pink cake, and it had to be a particular shade of pink with this particular piping, because this particular piping was on something that she had in the wedding.
Right, okay.
And I think in my mind I really wasn't convinced, but it still looked good, but not something I thought I would probably do.
Yeah.
And so once I put that into that venue, it was like, wow.
Yeah, right.
So,
Awesome.
which was
How good's
nice. Oh, it was fantastic.
Awesome.
And then they came back a year later for their first anniversary cake.
Did they?
Yeah, they loved it that much. It was just
awesome.
great.